Okay, so yesterday we talked about multiplying with decimals, and we had a lot of different scenarios where you would use decimals and multiply them. A lot of different real life examples. Well, I wanted to show you another real life example that you might use with decimals. This price that we see right here, this 168. Remember that there's a decimal point, even though Walmart didn't put it in their sale ad. There's a decimal point right there. So we have 168. I'm going to go buy some peaches. And it says specifically in this ad, it says per pound. And anytime you have this per or each, it's going to be one type of math, and I hope that you're yelling at the screen right now that one type of math is going to be multiplication. So I'm going to say that I buy 5 pounds of peaches. Well, I'm going to have to figure out how much money I'm going to need for 5 pounds of peaches. So I'm going to do some multiplication with decimals. Yesterday I told you we do not have to line up the decimal, even though that 5 has a ninja decimal hanging out behind it. We're just going to line it up just like this. You can continue your notes on the notebook page that we started yesterday, or on the Notability page. We're going to do some actual writing and solving some multiplication problems. We're going to multiply this just the same as any old multiplication problem, ignoring that decimal. We're going to say 8 times 5. 8 groups of 5 is 40. Please do this before I write it on my paper. You should know your math facts, and if you don't, you get up and you get a multiplication strip. Ain't no shame. 5 times 6 is, that's right, plus 4 more. We write our 4 down here. We carry our 3. 5 times 1 is, plus 3 more is 8. Now, lots of people are going to want to take this decimal and just drop it down, but you cannot do that. Even though it works, it will work in this problem. Don't do it. You can't. Don't put it there. You have to count. You have to say, okay, well, there's 2 digits behind the decimal in this number. There's none in this number, so I will move my decimal 2 spots. So I will come down here, pretend my decimal's right here, move 1 and 2, and I'm going to put my decimal right there in between the 8 and the 4. No, I did not just drop it from up here and down. I had to count 1, 2. Here's another produce product that I'm going to go buy some jumbo seedless watermelon, which would be nice right about this time, but we can't find those in the store. We're going to pretend, though. We're going to pretend. It says jumbo seedless watermelon $2.99, and look at this word right down here, each. Well, I'm going to host a party, and during this party we're going to play a game where we need 10 watermelons, 1 per person that's there. So I have to do the math. Am I going to have enough money? I need to do $2.99. Because it says each, I'm going to use times, and I have to times it by 10. This is a little bit different than my 5. Now I have 2 digits here, which means I will need to drop a 0. So I'm going to start here. 0 times 9 is 0, I hope. That's what you said. Then we have 0 times 9 here. I hope you said 0 there too. And finally 0 times 2. Then we drop to our next line, and now we're going to go 1 times 9. Then we're going to go 1 times 9. Then we're going to go 1 times 2. Now I need to add it all together. Boop, 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 boop. Now here's that part where I can't just take this decimal and drop it down. You know, it's kind of like Plinko. Sometimes it doesn't always end up through those numbers. The way I have to think is there are 2 numbers, 1, 2, that are behind that decimal. There are none in the number 10, so 1, 2. I'm going to start here. I'm going to go 1, 2, and plop a decimal down there. Boop, 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 boop. So for this party, I'm going to end up spending about $30, $29.90 on watermelon. Okay, so Thanksgiving's coming up. So let's think about this. This is a decimal. Remember, if I have 57 cents, my decimal is plopped right here in the front of the number. The cent sign means that the decimal is going to be here. Now it says it's 57 cents per pound. Per pound. That means that we're going to do multiplication. Each, per. Those are multiplication words. So I'm going to say that I got a really big turkey. The turkey costs 59 cents per pound, right? So that's what it would look like. I'm going to say I got a really big turkey. When it was all weighed, it was 15.75 pounds. This is a true thing. If you have got a big family, you're going to need 15.75 pounds. So then I go ahead and line up my numbers so that they line up here. I do not line up the decimal, although it did show up this way. They have to line up here. So it's per pound, so I have to do multiplication. So I'm going to use my multiplication strategies. I'm going to do 9 times 5. Then I'm going to do 9 times 7. Add the 4. You should be writing this in your notes. Then I'm going to go 9 times 5, but don't forget to carry from your 9 times 7 plus 4 more was 63. Don't forget to carry that 6 up there. 9 times 5 plus 6. Nine times 1 plus 5 more. Then I drop my 0. I'm ready for my next set. 5 times 5. I'm done with these numbers. 5 times 7 plus 2. 5 times 5 plus 3. 5 times 1 plus 2 more. And then I have to add, boom, boom, boom. Okay, now here's the part where I have to count how many spaces behind the decimal. So I have 1, 2, but I also have a decimal down here. 3, 4. There are 4 numbers all behind the decimal. So I'm going to bring my decimal down here and go 1, 2, 3, 4. And in dollar amounts, that would be, I would go ahead and round it off to 2 digits behind the decimal there. Okay, so I'm going to give you a letter today to start a word. The letter today is going to be, ooh, I got to pick a good one. There we go. Your letter today is P. Hold on to that letter. Go on over to Class Kick.